Big, dirty, stinking bass. Dirty, stinking bass. Big, dirty, stinking bass. Yeah, yeah. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome back to another Lost the Plot video. As you can probably see, I am not on my own anymore, even though you're probably used to me being on my ones by now. Today, I have a special guest with me, and her name is Alice.
Hello.
Well, can't get any more awkward than that, can you? So, today, what we are going to do is talk about musicals, because our channel, we like to talk about film, and I feel like this is one of the areas, the genres that we have not explored properly. Okay, and we're going to look at that today. We're going to answer a few questions, but before we get on to that and talk about musicals and why they are so good, I would very much like for you to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Yes, that's right, all the three things you need to do when you are on YouTube. You can also ring our bell if you want.
Can they?
Oh, yes. So, moving on with today's video. The bell is in next to the subscribe button. That's to notify you when we upload. To be fair, at the minute, infrequently, I'd probably use as the word for uploading. But yeah, let's move on. So, musicals. The way this video is going to be structured, we're going to go through a few questions and talk about why they are so very good. Alice is our guest because she is our musical expert at Lost the Plot headquarters.
I wouldn't go as far as expert, but I've dabbled.
I've dabbled, haven't we all? So, yeah, let's move on. So, the first question that we're going to start off with, just to get to know Alice as a guest, is... what is your favourite musical?
Well, you've mentioned before that my favourite film was The Lion King, so that's no shock that my favourite musical is The Lion King, both film and theatre show. Purely, if ever anyone saw the opening scene of it, it's just instant goosebumps from start to finish, really. Thank you, that was beautiful. Because it sounds just like that. It's very much something where all of singing, dancing and acting, all three are very just on par. There's not one that dips, which I think in some shows singing's really strong, but not so much the dancing or vice versa. It's just all round really bloody amazing. As well, if ever you saw bits, a lot of the costumes are...
incredible.
Yeah, I completely lost what word I was going to say.
Incredible.
To the point where you forget that there's people inside them, like with the elephants, with the giraffes. You know what I mean?
People inside of the elephants? Oh, God!
But you forget that, like, it's people controlling them, and it's just very clever how they do it all.
Yeah, I will back that up. I've seen Lion King, not in London. I've seen it at Disney World, Florida.
Of course you have.
Hashtag flex it. And I must admit, again, it is incredible. The people, the outfits, the choreography, the singing. It is genuinely one of the best experiences, best musicals that there is out there. The music as well, I feel like it's just very iconic.
Yeah, because they don't just have the ones from the first film, because they've got there is actually a Lion King 2 and 3, isn't there? But they're not as good, but I think some of the songs they take from them and put in the musical, which is very good.
Nice.
Last thing I would say is that I think because of how well they do the costumes, it means that the backdrops and stuff are quite simple, which I think just adds to it because they're very effective. You don't need all these big different backdrops. I just think it's really good how they do it all. And again, goosebumps all throughout. It's one of them where you just can't stop smiling through it, and I just love it.
Nice. Even when Mufasa dies, you're smiling?
No.
You animal.
Little bit sick and twisted.
Animal, you.
But yeah, I just really like it, and it's one I could watch again and again and again. Hint, hint. Let's go.
Nice. Are you asking me or?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll check the diary. I might be busy.
Thanks.
I'm going to move you on to my favourite musical now. Alith, and we went to watch it together with my mother and father, and it was one of the best experiences live that I've ever had. I mean, you mentioned Goosebumps. This musical is just goosebumps throughout, and that musical is Les Miserables, or as the French call it, Les Miserables. And it genuinely is incredible. I mean, I mentioned how the songs are iconic. I don't feel like there's any musical out there that's more iconic than Les Mis at the minute. With in regards to songs, acting, characters, you say to anyone that's into musicals, Jean Valjean, people know exactly what you're talking
The
about.
casting's quite strong as well.
The casting's very strong, and there are multiple main characters, but it's genuinely just incredible. The main focus being on Jean Valjean and Javert, and then you've got all the other characters coming into that as well. And generally, one of the best things I've ever seen live, and it's how a musical should be. People look at musicals nowadays and feel, oh, it needs to be big, fancy. No, Les Mis was literally one set throughout the whole thing, and it was singing, and it was just moving. You felt all emotions. One minute you were laughing, you were crying, you were motivated, you were awe-inspired. It was just unreal, and I think anyone that hasn't seen it, and even if you don't like musicals, watch it. I'd advise to watch the live instead of the film because the film's a little bit tosh compared to live. But yeah, it's Les Mis is by far my favourite musical.
Yeah, I'd agree. When you first said we were going to see Les Mis, it's never one which I was like really like eager to see. I was more of like growing up in dance, I was like I wanted to see Wicked and all of those sort of things. But yeah, honestly, it shocked me how like just amazed I was by it because there's no dancing really as much of like choreography. So yeah, I was really shocked, and it is completely agree with you. Very good, beautiful.
Chef's kiss. Right, moving on to our next question, and this is quite a good question actually because quite a lot of people have different views from the people I've spoke to about musicals, and the question is it better live or as a film? So what we're going to do is just going to talk about why it's better live than as a film, because we both agree, we've spoken about this topic a few times, that musicals are a better experience live. And because she's a guest, you're going to start us off. Why is it a better experience live, Alice?
It's just all round, you're there, you're in it, aren't you? It's a very immersive experience. You're in the room with these people. Not saying they're looking at you whilst they're singing to you. Sometimes you might be that lucky, but you connect with them on a different level than through like a screen.
Yeah, I agree with that. And we sort of said it's like a concert. So you can listen to your favourite artist's CD or music they released and you can enjoy it. But when you actually go and see them live, there's a deeper connection there. You feel at one with the artist. You're experiencing that music firsthand. And it's exactly the same with musicals. Being there, experience it. It generally is so immersive and so engaging because you're gripped on everything that they say. And I just feel it's a lot better experience.
I think as well, I really appreciate the work that goes into it. Like, don't get me wrong, actors, people in film obviously work incredibly hard as well. But if you're in a West End Broadway show or whatever, you could be doing 8 or 9 shows in that week. There's no second takes. You're just there. No. If your voice cracks, you get on with it. Like, you forget but like everything you just have to get on with.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I know I've said it, but as a dancer, you can very much appreciate that. That's very hard.
100%,
thinking this is my one shot to go on and do this, because the amount of times I've gone wrong and I think, oh God, and that's not even on the level of what they're doing.
No, I agree. And I feel you talked about the choreography and things like that. I've never been to a musical where anything's gone wrong.
No.
So it just shows, yeah, like we said, actors still work hard, but they get 1 take, 2 take, 3 take, 4 takes. And then they've got the editing, they've got the effects around it as well. Whereas in the theatre, it's just you and them. They don't have that to fall back on. So you're watching their talent and their talent shines through. That's why it's a greater experience, because you're not distracted by all the visuals and all the bits and bobs going on as well.
Yeah.
I agree, and we talked about the fact that there's just something about
You make a day of it, can't
Oh,
you? Like
yeah.
going to the theatre, it's a bit of a treat. Like,
Yeah.
For us, so when going to the cinema, you can sort of go whenever you want,
yeah,
or all the time. If
yeah,
you're certain people.
I agree.
But yeah,
Saddos.
the theatre, it's just a fun day, and you remember it. Like you remember going to see that show.
Yeah, I feel like because I did it with the best of May video. I forgot I went to watch Firestarter. I had to reshoot the whole thing,
Oh yeah.
and it's because films that you go and watch, if they aren't very good, you forget about it. But whether the musical's bad or it's good, you will always remember it because of the experience that it gives you. So we're well in the camp of musicals are better than film. Leave a comment down below. Do you agree? Have you been to see a musical? Do you think it's better than a film? Let us know what you think. And if you have, which musicals have you been to see? Okay? Because some people, like myself, have watched Les Mis, the film and the musical, and I'm very much in the camp that the live show is a lot better.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Nice. Right, couple of fun questions just to finish it off, because it's only a short video. We're not going to spend 45 minutes on Kenobi, are we? So, moving on. We're just going to talk about if you could play a part in a musical, Alice, what part would you play?
Oh, am I starting?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. So if I could sing, I've thought about this a lot, as you can tell. If I could sing, I would very much be Elphaba from Wicked.
Not
because-
alphabet, Elphaba.
Thank you.
That's okay. We need to
'Cause
clear that up.
If you could belt that Defying Gravity, then that's just it's very. You just let me finish.
Gravity.
It's just very impressive, and
Thank you.
I know that if I could sing though, I would be a very annoying like musical theatre child. Like I would have been all in. Thankfully, I can't, and I think my mum and you are very glad that I can't because I'd be horrible.
Not like it stops you anyway.
But yeah, I'd be Elphaba. However, a special place in my heart just stays with Lion King, and I would just love to be one of the gazelles leaping across the stage. Because I just think, imagine that I'm a gazelle. You do 3 leaps, job done.
What
See you
a
later.
contrast that is. I want to be what.
The main
I
part.
want to be one of the main parts in one of the biggest
biggest
musical shows to ever grace Broadway and West End, or a gazelle.
Do you know what? I'm leaning way more towards a gazelle.
Yeah, I think it's easier, isn't it, on your part?
Not as much responsibility.
No, that let's say 3 jumps.
I can do a leap.
Job's a good
I
one.
can't bout that. So
Well,
gazelle. What would you be?
what would I
Who would
be?
you be?
24601.
Who's that then?
Who is that? Is the big question. I would absolutely love if I could sing, because obviously you've seen numerous times in this video, I can't by any stretch of imagination. I'd love to be Jean Valjean in Les Mis or Javert, but look at this face.
You're more of a Valjean.
This is not a bad guy's face, is it? This is the hero, the protagonist, and I just feel like Jean Valjean would really be a good opportunity for me.
I think it would be.
So yeah, 100% Jean Valjean, one of the most iconic characters in musicals, and I love him to bits. 100%. I just think he's amazing. Really, really good. Right, shall we wrap up the video?
Yeah.
Because we've got through a considerable amount. Okay, it's just a quick fun one.
Flying visit from me.
Flying visit. I like that little drive-by. Probably an awful way to describe this. Yeah. Right, what we're going to do is we are going to recommend one musical to you people watching to hopefully inspire you to go and watch it, whether it be live or as a film. Okay, because there is a film in there, and we're going to say one musical that we'd like to see as well, because obviously we're not the wealthiest people in the world, so we don't get the opportunity to go and watch musicals all the time as much as we'd love to. But it's not a luxury that we have. So I'm going to start because you're the guest, and you've started twice already, and I'm sick of it.
All right.
This is my show. I've had enough.
What would you recommend?
Take your money
then?
and get off my property,
Come on.
Jane. So, first of all, I'd recommend Tick Tick Boom.
I agree with that.
Nice. And Tick Tick Boom is a film that was released on Netflix. And if you've watched our end of 2021 review, which seems like a bloody age away now,
Time ago.
Tick Tick Boom was the best film that I watched that year, and I stand by it. I still listen to the soundtrack. It is absolutely incredible. The other one that I would suggest is the Motown musical, and the musical about Chuck Berry's life and how he created Motown, as well as all different acts and how they built Motown from nothing. I went to watch it for my mum's birthday. One of the best things that I've ever seen, ever. It was incredible. I'm not sure if it's still on, because I know the Diana Ross musical, or sorry, the Tina Turner musical is now in the theatre that we watched at on Shaftesbury Avenue, so you'd have to have a look. But definitely Tick Tick Boom and Motown. What about yourself?
Mine would be Matilda. Everything I say you have to sing, don't you?
It's a musical episode.
Yeah.
If we didn't sing, it wouldn't be musical, would it?
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see it in the home theatre. I saw this at Birmingham Hippodrome with my friend, and
With the hippos there.
that was really bad. I'm not even going to humour that one.
Moving on.
A lot of the people in it are children, and I just think that's very impressive to think that they're probably less than 10, about 8 to 15-year-old, sort of carrying the show for a big chunk of it. When I went to see it, the girl actually fell ill and the swing had to come in for her, but it was very swift. We were saying about no mistakes type thing.
Yeah.
But again, very swift, and I just think for a child to just sort of come on and do that is amazing.
Yeah.
And there's a film coming out based off the musical. So obviously you've got the Matilda film.
Tim Minchin's music that he wrote. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so that's coming out with the soundtrack from the musical, which I'm very excited about, I think, at the end of this year.
I couldn't tell you. Yes, Christmas time.
I think so, yeah.
Yes, Christmas time.
So, yeah, if you can, go watch Matilda, and if not, just wait for the film.
Nice. One very quick answer. What one musical do you want to see?
Dear Evan Hansen. Do you want me to explain why?
No.
Okay.
Mine would be...
You were waiting, I was like...
Well, I suppose I didn't know if you were, but then you asked, I went no. Mine would be Sister Act with Whoopi Goldberg. It's the new one that's coming out. I don't know if it's out yet. I've not entirely looked. I think actually it was this month.
It's Jennifer Saunders as well, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it was supposed to be Whoopi Goldberg and Jennifer Saunders performing. I don't know if they're going to be performing anymore, but I know they're the two that have sort of sculpted this, and I just feel like that'd be amazing. Leave it down in the comments. What film? Why is it films? Film channel.
Musical.
Film/musical would you recommend to anybody to watch? And also, what would be one that you would like to see? Okay, leave it down in the comments. I will leave something in there as well for you to look at and reply to, just to sort of increase interaction a little bit more. And again, to finish off this video, please like, please subscribe, please ring our bell and leave a comment. That would be much appreciated and fantastic. We are trying to grow as a channel and a presence and a brand, so bear with us, please. We are still very new, but we are going to try and make this the best thing that we can ever possibly imagine. Remember, we have a TikTok, we have a Facebook, and we have an Instagram as well. Instagram and Facebook we post on regularly with some very interesting posts, actually. I feel like we do a good job at that, especially Tom and James. Well done. And Matt, can't forget him. Bless him. Yeah, that's all from us.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me.
But thanks for having... Get off my channel.
Get me cough out. It sounded like getting my cock out.
Oh, God.